I'm Leah.
I'm Katie.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Melissa.
And this is
the group chat.
There was no hey guys.
Oh,
But
sorry.
it's all good.
It's
Okay,
all
let's do
good.
it again. Do it
No,
again.
we're rolling. We're going.
Let's go with
We're
it.
going with it.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Oh no, okay, try again.
Okay. We spent too much time deciding to roll on it. Okay, go. Okay.
hi guys, I'm Leah.
I'm Katie.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Melissa.
And this is the group chat.
And we wanted to welcome you guys to our group chat. Like, we're all friends. We've been friends for a while. And a couple of you asked on Instagram how we met. So we're going to go over that really briefly before we even jump into our topic for today. So Leah and Chelsea, take it away.
All right. So, me and Chelsea met in kindergarten at the Christmas show in elementary school. Our brothers were there and she went to the school and I went there in first grade. So that's when we met. And then Alyssa came in later in elementary school.
Yeah, I jumped
Fourth
in, I
grade.
think, fourth grade. And we met. And then we all went to the same middle school. And that's when we met our lovely Katie.
And I came in around sixth grade. And we just started becoming friends and hanging out a lot more.
And then I popped up in high school, and I didn't want to be friends with none of them. But then they all adopted me and brought me into the group, and then here we are now.
However many years later.
10 plus years.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Years later, a lot of relationships, babies,
Baby.
tears.
Arguments.
And we're here. And we wanted to really welcome you guys into our group chat and the conversations that a lot of people don't want to have out loud. But I'm sorry, we're going to say things that potentially might get us canceled. Particularly me. You never know. So, girls, what are we talking about today? What's going on? What are we bringing to the group chat?
Toxic friendships. Everybody has had one.
Toxic.
Very, very toxic. But every week or, every episode, we're going to kind of have a fun little beverage that goes with our topic. So today we have what we call Venom. It's purple, it's spicy, it's poison, it's deadly. Same way every toxic relationship you have in your life is. Ooh. So that's what we're sipping on when we talk about this. So if you guys want to sip with us, please enjoy the recipe that we post on our Instagram so you can make it and sip along while you watch this episode.
Yep. So, guys, I know a couple of our followers had sent us some suggestions, and I don't know who it was. Somebody had a friend who had an incident happen, and we want to welcome that friend to the group chat and kind of give you our perspective on what we're thinking. And I'm sorry, friend, it might get a little spicy. I'm not going to lie to you.
You're going to hear what we got to say about it, to be honest.
Opinions. Advice.
All the opinions. So, Chelsea, take it away.
All right. So she says this girl that she was best friends with for a bit and her man, told her multiple times when they'd argue that he understood why her ex was physically abusive towards her. When the said girl who messaged me told her that that was not okay for him to say, she didn't like him, and that was toxic. She started saying that she was jealous, trying to be controlling of her and her relationship. So the friend told the girl's boyfriend that they should break up, and he said that I must be trying to drug her and hook up with her, that I don't have good intentions towards her, but then was later asking if she'd join a threesome with the couple. She removed herself from the friendship, but will always pray for her and hope she's okay, though. I think that's very important because that's real big of women. But I just want to bring that to everybody here at the group chat and see what you would feel about that situation.
That could never be me. I wish I would.
First of all, she said her boyfriend was trying to drug her?
She said the friend who was trying to look out for her girl was saying that, was feeling that she wanted to drug her friend because he crazy. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Basically, he crazy. And I feel like we see it a lot that women get into these relationships with men and they they get told by these men to cut their friends off. They get manipulated to, you don't need these people and whatnot. But I think the spicy part about this is that you say that, but then you want a threesome.
A threesome.
With that same friend you want to cut off?
With the same friend.
Girl.
How you try and be protective of your friend and then get asked in the threesome? I just make it make
My
sense.
question is, how do you drug your friend and then want a threesome? Well, said drug your friend and then want a threesome. Are you crazy or are you crazy?
It can't happen. Let me tell you something. Amongst these females that I'm sitting here with on this couch, I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. Don't ever let me find out that your man want to have a threesome with me, because it's over.
I'm gonna calmly tell you with the quickness, like, excuse me,
what?
check.
I'm gonna feel like I'm losing my mind. Like, did she really mean to send this to me, or she was trying somebody else? Because she can't possibly be trying me. I personally just feel like in this situation, I really think it's big of this female to say, I'm gonna pray for this person. I want to keep them in my prayers. I want to,
because that wouldn't have been my first reaction.
a threesome.
After you said that, I was trying to drug you.
She did say no. She did say no to the threesome. I just want to point that out.
If we could never, if we
I would hope so.
And potentially, if we get a close-up shot of my face, don't ask me for a threesome, because it's not happening. I'm letting y'all know that ahead of time.
Listen,
Alyssa is stuck on the threesome.
I'm gonna hit you with the LOL, like, wrong message.
Wrong
number.
It's like, that is so extremely toxic to think that you can, one, say to me that I would do something to harm you as my friend, and then a couple days later or a couple of weeks later, whatever, I'm checking on you, we're trying to mend the friendship, and then you proceed to ask me to be intimate with you and the same man that I said I felt uncomfortable around, or I felt didn't have pure intentions. I feel like you as a friend kind of sort of have lost probably who she is in the relationship, because she's so consumed with trying to make her relationship work and make her man comfortable that she's forgetting that she's making all her friends uncomfortable. And
She lost her mind.
Yeah.
She lost her mind.
I wonder whose idea was it for the threesome, his or hers?
That's what I'm saying.
100% his.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like it has to be, that's a man. I wanted to say another word.
Because there's no way you go through all that with your friend and then go, I should ask her for a threesome.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
But let me follow up, because
there's
she
more.
did also say that the girl who messaged me about this story, said she reached out to the friend after the pandemic hit because she just wanted to check on her. Again, they didn't speak. And there were riots going on, so she just wanted to be a caring person. I don't want to say friend because they weren't friends. And she asked her why she stopped talking to her and can they FaceTime. And the girl told her that she was toxic and that she cared more about the friendship than she did because she ghosted her after she told her to leave her man. And then she tried to act like shit didn't happen and then told her man not to talk to me. And then basically texted me about the threesome. Again, the threesome. And she therefore said there wasn't much else to say, but that I'd still be willing to FaceTime and talk. And then she blocked her. And that was the end of that.
Time out. Zoom in. I'm trying to mend my friendship and I get blocked after I get asked for a threesome. Make up your mind.
Seriously.
Leah, can I just point out really briefly, Leah's hat is from Edgar Evans Jr. And his brand, Flawless. I just wanted to point that out just because you have it on. And I know if he sees this, he's going to be like, wow, how you got my hat on? You don't even shout me out. So thank you, Eddie, for the free caps. Me and Leah have them. He gave them to us promotionally. So I got to get some more for the other members of the group chat when I go to Atlanta in a couple of weeks. But I just wanted to shout that out, not to cut the conversation in half. But yeah, I completely agree with you. So it's like, how do how do we say we're going to mend the friendship and then decide that we're going to block each other? But honestly, that kind of leads me to think about our own friendship and how we possibly, as much as we're having conversations with each other, I don't want to be fraudulent to these people and pretend like, I don't want to pretend like we have we've always had the best or most non-toxic, fully communicative relationship between each other. And I think that it took a lot of growth from each of us and growth within our friendship to really understand how to be communicative friends and respectful and understand each other's communication styles and how to be respectful friends to each other. And that's hard for females. Like, you hear a lot of women who have a difficult time, you know, like having that type of conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see a lot. So-and-so has left the group chat.
No names need to be said.
The shade of it all.
And nobody's gotten blocked. I mean, thankfully, you know, it's never exceeded the point where it's like, I gotta block you, like you getting on my nerves. But it's been more of like I'm just gonna go silent, you know.
A little
Like,
timeout.
Even recently, it was like I was on some like I'm in a bad mood, and they were like, why are you getting snappy? And I was like, oh, I know they talking about me. But it was like, you know, it happens. That happens in group chats. You know, everyone has to learn how each person communicates. And, you know, I just want to point out I was the first one here, even though I was. But, you know, everyone goes through it. And it's good to understand in any of your relationships how the other person communicates, you know, their feelings, whether it's they go silent, whether it's a separate message, whether it's a phone call. You know, you just have to understand those things. And I think it took a lot of years for us to understand, you know, each person's way of communicating those things.
So what would you say between us? What is our communication style? Like, what's our personality?
Good question.
So like, Leah, you just go silent. You just go silent and then you pop up like, sorry, y'all, how do you want to do that this time? Like, okay, you're so rude for that.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a whole fact.
I'll be whole MIA. I was dead like, oh, I'm not going to be in a group chat. They'll just see me on Saturday.
And I'll pull up to work and you there, I'm not high.
Yeah, I think I feel like of the whole, like the five of us, me and Leah, I think, are probably the most likely to like kind of go ghost for a little while. And I think that's low key because as much as we will probably be, or people might think we might be the most abrasive in the group, I feel like we're probably the most sensitive to certain things. And definitely, we're definitely very sensitive, especially like with how people communicate stuff to us. So I know I'm the queen of Alyssa has left the group chat. So, you know, hint, hint, hint. I was the one she was talking about. I've popped in and out of the group just based on stuff that I was dealing with. And either I might have felt like I wasn't being supported, or I might have felt like maybe my friends were attacking me just based on the way that we communicated at that time. But I will say that over the years that we've been friends, that communication has kind of shifted, and we've kind of learned, okay, Alyssa needs to be communicated this way, and Leah needs to be communicated this way. Katie, XYZ, we need to be communicated in a certain type of way. When, our friends kind of see toxic behavior or something dangerous happening to us, we kind of had to figure it out how it needs to be approached. Because let me tell you, these heifers was cutthroat. They
Have
were
to be.
cutthroat.
I'm the nicest one out of all of them.
Who?
Me.
She's lying.
Here we go again.
Ryan.
Here we go again.
Victoria.
I'm not the nicest one?
No.
What you mean?
Guests
not
will
the
come
nice
on
one.
this show and say
Absolutely.
A lie. A lie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you lying.
on opposite days.
Who is the nicest one then? So who is the, I guess, like person? Oh,
No, it's between
girl, no.
Alyssa
Chelsea,
and
put
I.
your hand down.
Exactly. What? A lie. That is a lie.
She is on this podcast video being fraudulent. Let me tell you something.
The cap.
In the group chat, let's be real. Who talks the most slick?
Alyssa. Oh no, not slick. That's not what I meant. Like, who talks the most like a mom? Alyssa.
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
who talks the most slick then?
You.
It's the three on the middle couch. You see,
Facts.
these three right
I'm
here.
nice as hell.
Me and Leah, I think that we chat a lot, but we're not mean. Y'all be in the group chat like, so-and-so look a mess today. Did you see that on Instagram?
That on Instagram? Screenshot it. I'm the queen of screenshots. It's just
To be like, post unavailable, I can't see. Screenshot. Oh, here it is.
It's just called being honest.
honesty is key.
Called being. Oh, God.
What?
Just need to, let me make sure I
Say
look
it.
decent.
Say it. Go ahead. Put you on D&D again.
Listen, y'all be on D&D all the time, waking up at God knows
This
an
is
ungodly hour.
toxic friendship.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think
In a good way.
yeah. Do you guys think currently, like in our friendship dynamic that we have now, do you think that we still have toxic displays that we're still exhibiting towards each other?
I would say yes, because I think we're all human and everybody has their, periods of not really being 100% goody-goody, So whether it comes out in our friendship in the group chat or if it's towards a person in your house, like it's just going to happen regardless. I think it's how you handle it after the fact. Because when you're going through something and you're going through something and you're going through something, we let y'all have your moment. And then after the fact, when it comes around to it, we communicate. And then when you're ready, you can talk about it and we'll have a conversation about it. I think that's where the wrap up of toxic, not toxic, where that's a big play. Because we could be toxic and we could be going through some shit and I'm gonna let you go through your shit and then we just act like nothing ever happened. Now, what does that do?
That's true.
Because then we gonna carry on and we're still gonna, in the back of our head, we know that, last week me and so argued about whatever and it never got dealt with. Now we continue on and it's still that way. So that's my take.
Okay, so question of the night. Who has a toxic friendship right now? Or who has a story about a toxic friendship?
Bitch, me.
All right, let me pour some more Venom for this.
Exactly. You might need a little bit more Venom for this story.
Me. So, I will say, now I'm a mom. New mom. Well, almost a year.
I'm a mother.
But I feel like being pregnant, I lost the most friends I ever lost in my life.
Oof.
And I don't want to say I don't have friends, but like,
Say, girl, we right here.
y'all are like the only people. And then at a point in my time, like in my life, I let other people in. And then when I was pregnant, it just like went to shit, which I think says a lot about people. But there was a girl that I knew since birth. And we were sisters through life. And she lived in a different state and we still talked, still whatever. And she ended up moving to New York and we lived together. And I don't even know, I can't recall how many months before I was pregnant. But in November, I told all my friends that I was pregnant. And she cried at this news. And then decided about 2 minutes later that she wanted to be angry at me because she was not the first friend that I told.
So you know,
we were.
Yeah, we knew first.
I was not. I'm gonna just sidebar. I will not lie. At the moment when this situation was happening, Alyssa had left the group chat. For other reasons that we'll discuss at a later date because we're talking about this. But I had left the group chat. So some of this is information that I might not have heard before. If you see any faces being made, I apologize, sis, because I know you might watch this just to get the tee-hee-hee. So any faces I make, take it personally. Okay, continue.
I'll also make a sidebar. Because Alyssa was not in the group chat, we weren't like, talking on a daily basis at the time. But when I posted that I was pregnant, Alyssa was the first one to send me a text. Like, I know we haven't been talking, but this is like crazy. This is news that we've talked about since we were kids. Like, it's crazy. And I think that's a prime example of a real friend, not a toxic friend. Mm-hmm. So let me get back to the toxic. So now I'm pregnant. She's mad. Whatever. I told her my piece on why I felt like she wasn't the first person I wanted to tell, because when you find out you're pregnant at a young age, you kind of have to come to terms with it yourself. So you don't really want to spread it before you are okay with it. Mm-hmm. So then time progressed and I was getting more pregnant because that's what happens. And she continued to I don't want to say not give me attention, but just not be there. As a friend, as a sister, as somebody that you feel like you look up to me, to not be there for me in a time in my life where I feel like that is the most important to me, and even if she wasn't born, to my daughter. So there was that. Like, there was certain things, man. Like, I shouldn't be pregnant sleeping on the floor in my own home because you want to sleep in my bed. Like, that don't make no sense to me.
How you put a pregnant woman on the floor? On the floor.
Cause she dusty.
Oh, you read my mind.
But like,
See each other.
How do you sleep comfortably knowing that there's a pregnant woman sleeping on the floor?
in my bed. You're in my bed.
You don't, unless
Yeah.
you are a person who is genuinely a selfish person.
Scum.
I feel like it's important to know that you cannot have positive relationships if you are a toxic person. Mm-hmm. Like, in order for you to sustain healthy relationships, whether it be with a man, with your friends, with your significant other, male, female, whatever you know, love is love. Whoever you love, if you cannot sustain any friendships or relationships in general, if you personally are not a good person, if you're a toxic person. And so for you to see a female, a friend, somebody who's supposed to be your sister, and you don't take into account that they're in a vulnerable state. Like, I've, had my own experiences with pregnancy. Not, it's different because you had the full-blown pregnancy. So it's like, for you to go through the process of giving life and somebody to make you feel uncomfortable during that time and not put in their mind, like, listen, my sis is, her back might be hurting, her legs might be hurting. She has whatever situations is happening during pregnancy happening to her. And then you just kind of be like, oh, well, I want to be comfortable in the bed, child. I want to get me some, whatever, some penis or whatever else you want to get. Whatever else you want to get. And
Chelsea bed?
You never know. Some bitches be nasty. I'm sorry. If you are my student, you heard me say the B word.
Don't be a
apologize.
smut. How about that? Like, that's
a fact.
Yep.
Be a good person. You can't be a good friend if you're not a good person.
How do you see your best friend as a child go through a pregnancy and then have a falling out with them and not try to make it right?
what?
That doesn't, like, how would you even go about that?
Yeah, like, it was just like silence. And the part that gets me is when I was having a baby shower, which didn't happen, by the way, because Corona. She said she wasn't going, and that was like my last straw, because I feel like if there was troubles throughout that happening, at some point you have to just say that, like, I'm bigger than this and there's other bigger things happening that I just have to put that shit to the side and move on. But for you to say you're not coming to the baby shower because you don't want to make it not about me, you made the whole shit about you anyway. So what the fuck was the point of not coming? Anyway, the baby shower didn't happen, so that wasn't it. But that was my last straw, where I texted her and I was just like, you know what? Fuck this, because I'm not doing it. I'm bringing a child into the world, and there are plenty of people around her already that care about her, and I don't have to go through this up and down shit with, because at this point, too old for it. There's no, like, it's over. Now I have a kid to worry about. I don't want to be with, oh, mommy, where's this person? Because she was here, but now she's not here, and she, did this for me, and now you haven't spoken to her in 5 years. I'm not doing it. So
Have you talked to her?
no.
You think you're going to talk to her?
No.
Oh.
I'm over it. I'm over it.
I think that for me, and guys, by the way, if you see us look to the left at any point in time, or I don't know if I was going to show up on screen, we're looking at Eden, our producer. So we're looking over there, because I know at a point we all kind of like looked to the left to see what he was saying to us. So if you see us look to the left, we're just looking at Eden. That's it. We're not looking at like some random shadow in the corner. But I think that was what was most important to me. Like, when I saw the post happening, I think for me that was like a signifying moment that, like, I was missing out on like parts of friendship that I did not want to miss out on. Like, these have been my sisters for 10 plus years, and we have had conversations since high school about children and marriage and where we wanted to kind of go in the future. And I think that at that moment, seeing that I did not know that she was having a baby, seeing that she was like, through that first trimester, like, where it's like, oh shoot, like you could have known this months ago and I did not know that, it was like a signifying factor, like, okay, you have been angry or upset or whatever the case may be with your friends for so long that now you're missing out on milestones that honestly, I felt like the milestones were bigger than the trauma at that point. And I think that it's important to realize that when those milestones are bigger than the trauma and you are genuinely a sisterhood like we are, I really think that we are a sisterhood, that you kind of put aside the fact that you guys had an argument or you guys had a conversation that didn't kind of like coast over really well. And I feel like in this situation, your friend, who shall remain unnamed, did not do
She ain't
that.
my friend no more.
Did not do that. No, Katie just, I saw you twist the microphone.
But like, I just feel like as a person in general, like no matter like what's happening, like if you really cared about a person and you saw they was going through like a life-changing event, like you would want to be there somewhat. And then the fact you're under the same roof and like you not caring, like that says a lot about a person as a whole human being, not even just as a friend, like as a whole human being. Because how do you not care? How do you not ask like, how are you feeling? Or how was your appointment? Like that's important things.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's fair at all.
The crazy thing about it, like toxic friendship, I feel like you could always tell how people feel about you if you are going through something and they're literally just not there. Like the argument is bigger than what you are going through in that moment. That person does not care about you. Mm-hmm. That person does not. They are so willing to put that situation higher than the person that you are and the relationship that you have, whether it's like family, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a friendship. Like that's mad trash.
I mean,
how do you do that?
I'm going to say that I partially disagree with that. Only because I feel like in some situations, I think that the emotions of the argument sometimes get or they kind of overcast what the main issue is going to be, especially when you're coming into a strong group of opinions. So like when you're looking at a strong group of opinions and everybody feels like and I understand they have your best interest at heart, but at the same time, best interest and kind of empathy and compassion for what your friend is going through at the same time might not always go hand in hand. If I'm being completely honest, like, I mean, let's think about our friendship. Honestly, like to be completely transparent with the people that are watching, because we want them to know, like, we're not gonna sit here and bullshit like we have this beautiful ass friendship that shit didn't happen between us. Shit happens between us all the time. And at any given day, any of us will be upset with each other for something that somebody else said, and separate group chats will be created like she's being a bitch.
But you gotta stay positive.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, no. I think that's something that we've worked on, is to like kind of maybe even if we consult like with the group as like, how should we go about this? We do always bring it back in the most positive way. Like, how can we approach this to make sure that our friend is good? But again, that took time, that took work. Yeah. So I feel like in certain situations, even with us, we have allowed our being very opinionated or having feelings, selfish feelings, to get in the way of like, our friend is going through something right now. Our friend is going through a vulnerable time. Our friend is going through something that might be bothering them, and saying, I have your best interest at heart, but we want you to hear our opinion, and we didn't care about it. So in certain moments, we have to understand that empathy and compassion kind of has been a sidebar from like the overall synopsis. And that's not defending cis, well, not cis, but you know, that's not defending, but it's just saying sometimes when you have those emotions, you kind of forget that your friend actually needs you to be there for them because they're going through a situation.
I just feel like the emotions weren't valid in the situation.
Yeah.
Simply because, to be honest, to this day, I don't know what I did that was like so
egregious, yeah,
whatever, you felt like you needed
toxicity breeds toxicity. And if you're in a toxic situation and you're also around other toxic people,
yeah,
I mean, that's also no help. Like, it's one thing if you're in a toxic situation and you have a friend that's not toxic. So you're getting that, like, you know, that fresh air of advice, that, you know, that peace that's like, I'm not feeding into the nonsense. You know, I'm giving you an unbiased opinion. And then it's another thing to have another person that's also, you know, ambiguous on hating you for whatever reason. And it's like, when you get that, you're not going to get anywhere, because guarantee you in any situation, like the first situation we spoke about, those were two toxic people. The guy was toxic and the girlfriend was toxic.
yeah.
And that's how it translated into the friend trying to get pulled into the toxicity. The situation you just spoke of, I guarantee you that person was talking to other people, getting other opinions on how should I handle this or how should I go about this. And they probably didn't get the best advice.
That's why they're not my friends anymore either.
Exactly.
There's also a famous saying, misery loves company.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a toxic trait. You know, if you're miserable and instead of, you know, working on your own demons or going to see the lady or whatever you need to go do, whatever you need to do to get through it, it's like if you just turn to people that are just going to feed into that emotion, well, keep me far away from you, one. And like, I don't want no advice, nothing to do with you. I want my people nowhere near you, because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be miserable, having an everyday drag on, and it feels like I'm getting weighed down by all this negativity, all the nonsense, especially if you're in the wrong. Like, it's one thing if you're justified on being, and I won't say toxic, but if whatever thing or situation makes you upset, if there's an actual reason behind it versus, well, I'm just mad because I can be, you know.
Yeah.
That's toxic as hell. No.
First of all, we're 25, 26. Who has time
Nobody.
for that?
Nobody.
Who has
Called
time for
me
that?
out. Do y'all see how she looked over here and said 26?
She 26 too.
I know, but she
ain't
said,
got insurance.
listen, she
I
went-
just turned 25.
Listen,
I got insurance.
Sis went 25, 26. Oh shit! Like, yes, I'm. Hi guys, I'm 26.
I'm the baby of the group.
Single.
I just turned 25.
If anybody's out there watching,
Oh my God. Anyway, I do want to plug into this conversation because somebody else did when we were asking about toxic friendships and just some things that, you know, they were going through or whatever. I think they said people, friends, ex-friends, whatever, who are slow to apologize, I think is so huge and the basis of a lot of friendships turning toxic or just ending because nobody, and it's not saying that all the time there has to be a bigger person, but there's an issue. So there has to be something that you come to, and whether it's an agreement or agree to disagree, whatever it is, I think there should be an apology on somebody's part for whatever they did. Owning up to your shit is really, really huge. And I think especially within this group, I think at some point everybody just owns up to their shit because we're going to call you out on it.
That is very true.
You have no choice. So
never mind.
What?
Nothing. I'm just.
what?
No. I just feel like, again, that's something that we had to work towards.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for us in our particular friendship, and again, I only bring up our shit as the group chat, to be transparent about growth. Because at the end of the day, we're not here sitting on like these couches to be fraudulent with you guys. Like, we have this ideal perfect ass friendship where everybody's perfect. Like,
We don't.
we're not.
Nobody's
We have literally had our shit all the time. Like, we argue, we disagree, we have strong opinions.
To be honest, I think, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think arguing is healthy. In
If
friendship.
you agree on
Yeah.
everything, honestly, I think you're a robot, and it's weird. Like, if I'm in any friendship relationship and it's like we agree on everything, like I like pizza, well, I like pizza too. I want burgers. I want burgers too. I'm looking at you like, can you stop? Like, can I be my own person? Can I have my own opinion? Because it's like if we agree on everything, like I mean everything, like. What conversations are we gonna have?
Yeah, no. I think that arguing is healthy. And I feel like we learned the art of disagreeing with each other.
Yeah. And agreeing to disagree. Also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
there's times where it's not going to happen. There's not going to be, I agree with you, or yeah, this is exactly what I feel. You know, it's sometimes you have to understand, like, we don't see the same page, and we just have to be like, let's agree to disagree, and then be okay with that. Because some people, and let's be realistic, some people will say, let's agree to disagree, and then still hold that, you know, that bit of I'm not even pointing fingers, but they'll hold that bit of animosity, like, oh, but I still don't agree with that. Like, I need them to understand, like, why that, you know, whatever situation that they need to be on the same page as me. And also, that is situational. Like, there's some things that it's like, no, I need you to understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And then there's other things where it's like, oh, we can agree to disagree. You know, you have your own opinion, I have mine.
In friendships, I feel like you need a safe space to check your friends.
Yeah.
Facts.
Not everybody is perfect, and you're not always gonna get along. Because there have been times, I was like, Victoria, you need to relax. And
There still are times.
And there have been times where, like, okay, well, Alyssa, you gotta relax.
Yeah.
Leah, you gotta relax. Katie, I don't think I ever told y'all to relax.
What? Because I'm chill.
First of all,
It's because I'm the nicest person of this group.
No, that's me. She faking.
Yeah, for real. She's the fakest person of the group.
the cat.
Honestly, no, it is. Katie is really the fakest person of the group because she was smiling in your face and literally turn around.
She's toxic.
She is.
Get her out of here.
No, for real. I think I think I am the most toxic friend. in the friend group, I am. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I think that of our friend group, I probably will be the most toxic friend. Only because I am the one who takes, I think, probably everybody's opinion to heart so much that it makes it difficult for me to communicate with you guys. So like I love, like when I say I love these girls, I love them. Like these are my sisters, thick and thin, through it all. Like I think even in the situations that I dealt with when we weren't talking, if I would have reached out to any of them and said like, hey sis, this is what's going on, they would have 150% forgot about the drama, forgot about the beef, whatever it was between us, and kind of like accompanied me through that journey.
That is so true because honestly, if we ever had a falling out, I know for a fact if I ever became homeless or something, I could literally hit up any of you guys and be like, listen, I need a place to stay.
Yeah.
And it would be not a second thought.
It's like, I think that it's important to recognize, and you know, it's our first episode, that this is so much more than a friendship. Like this is legit. I'm gonna start crying. This is legitimately a sisterhood. Like we have been friends for so long. We've seen so much stuff happen. And my biggest thing here with I think it was Chelsea that brought up the idea of doing a podcast because we had conversations in the group chat and it's like, yo, if we took this to the internet or whatever, people would really, you know, this episode is not as spicy as we're gonna get. Just stay tuned.
We had to keep it
But
wholesome.
yeah, we wanted to keep it wholesome for the first one. Wanted to introduce you guys to us and
I
our
didn't
friend
want to
group.
get canceled on the
Yeah, you know,
The
the first episode. So stick around. I know that this episode might have been like, why are they talking about friendships? But we wanted you guys to kind of get our dynamics as friends before we moved forward.
But on the other hand, I feel like in every group chat with females, y'all talk shit about other female situations. And that's kind of what we doing on this episode.
but they brought it to us. It's not like we just speaking on.
Yeah. This was a topic that a couple people asked us to
We had
speak
people
about
vote
and just, like,
on.
toxic
You know, they
friendships.
gave us topics. We're not just out here gossiping.
Yeah.
This is not the gossiping show.
It's not. But yeah, like these are legitimately my sisters. And it took time for me to understand and really not take personally everybody's communication styles, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Leah is the one that's gonna say what she says and then she's gonna like legitimately put like LMFAO after it so that it comes across kind of like goofy.
Or sparkles.
That's sparkles. Like, damn sparkles.
Y'all bitches piss me off. Sparkles.
Exactly. It's like she will literally tell you like your man is cheating, and like the cheating is in the sparkles. So it's like, do I take this seriously? Or she like, that's Leah, and I know that like Chelsea and Katie are a little bit more cutthroat. Like they're gonna say straight what it is. Like I don't think this is good for you, and I think that Chelsea and Katie, to be completely honest, have probably been the two of my friends that I think I took stuff from you guys and was like, shit, these bitches don't like me. Or like they want to hurt me, because they were very cutthroat. But again, it took time and it took a lot of maturity for me to be like, in hindsight, what they were saying was really to protect me, because they knew I am the sensitive friend. I'm the friend that's gonna, I love hard, I give a lot, and and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that a lot of the advice that they were giving, although it might have come across as hard, was really because they didn't want anybody to take advantage of the fact that I have an open heart. Vicky is the friend that's she's, I think, most even keeled. She's gonna give you it straight, but at the same time, she's gonna be like, but only if you think so, sis. At the end of it.
I'm not responsible for your actions. Your life is your life.
Yeah, she's gonna give it to you, but she's always gonna make sure that like, this is kind of your choice, but I want you to know how I feel about it, and this is my advice to you. If you choose to accept it, fine. If you don't, fine.
Yeah.
But I think when you come into a domain where there's 4 other incredibly smart, incredibly dynamic, incredibly independent, incredibly opinionated females, it can be intimidating when you have your shit going on, and it's like, fuck. I mean, freak, I'm a teacher, I can't curse. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep it PG-13. But when you say, like, these are like a group of females that are so opinionated and they're very strong, and they're not going to change their mind. It doesn't matter how much you talk. They're not going to change their mind if they feel like somebody's taking advantage of you or they feel like something is wrong for you. And in the moment when you're genuinely like, I am feeling everything right now. Like, I remember a couple of weeks ago, Leah had said something, and I like retorted like, oh, well, it's whatever. And she was like, Alyssa, not right now. And I had to kind of sit back and be like, you know what? In this moment, my friend is feeling whatever she's feeling. And even if I don't agree with those feelings, that's what she's feeling. I have to respect that. And I think that it took us time and years of our friendship to kind of get that part together. Because I feel like if any of us would have said not right now 5 years ago, would have been like, bitch, what is well, I want to do it right now.
We got the time and it's happening.
We're going to talk about this.
But
something to add, even when, one person's going through it, like, everyone has like friends and friends and friends. And, when anybody goes through any situation, you know how hard it was for me not to tell this woman that one of her sisters was pregnant? When I said that, because she could, once you confide in someone and you're like, oh, nobody knows, you can't just be out here like, and telling everybody and their moms. So it was like, once that, life mended a friendship, which some people don't get that, that they don't get that through their skull. Yeah. But it's like, you have to understand that when you actually care about somebody, regardless if you fall out or not, when you care about somebody, certain stuff gets put to the side, whether it be a marriage, whether it be a baby, whether it be, unfortunately, a funeral, somebody gets sick, anything to celebrate. Sometimes you got to put things to the left of you and focus on the right things. You see, you guys like that, right? See, I'm a poet out here. But, you got to sit there and actually, focus on the good in life, because there's so much negativity out there and so many things that you could honestly complain about on a daily basis. But I feel like if you focus on the positives in any relationship and you communicate those things, that you could leave the toxicity, in the bag. Leave it on the back burner. Throw it out, put it in the garbage, let it walk out the door, and have positive relationships in your life.
It's 2021. Nobody got time for the antics.
Especially, exactly.
To be honest.
COVID ain't going nowhere. People lost loved ones. People lost a year of life and living, milestones. Don't nobody got time to deal with nonsense.
That's a fact. Well, guys, before we end, and like I said, I am a toxic friend, so I'm gonna
I agree.
I'm gonna take account for myself. In the spirit of accountability to my darling friends, I do apologize for not genuine. I'm gonna cry, and I didn't want to do this on the first episode. I am the sensitive one. I was she was the one crying. I'm the one crying. You guys are gonna see me cry 1,000,001 times in every episode, probably. in the spirit of just taking accountability, I do want you guys to know that even I'm gonna really cry because I don't know why I want to cry, but I know in the spirit of accountability. Just because Eden has tissue for me, guys. So if you guys see my eyes burning, because I got lashes on y'all, and you know the glue. But in the spirit of accountability, just I think I do want you guys to know that as my friends, I'm sorry for any animosity that I had when you guys didn't know what was going on with me, and like just not knowing the situations that I was going through in that moment, because I wasn't being an honest friend. I wasn't, because I know my friends and I know that they would have been honest with me. And I think that in that moment, it was easier for me to remove myself and deal with my own toxic relationship and my own situation alone without having that opinion. And guys, we both talk about toxic relationships eventually, but with men.
See, we talking about with the girls right now, but with the men,
it'll be, I ain't gonna cry, I'm a cuss. But, you know, with friendship, I knew that my friends were going to be honest. And I think that sometimes, for me, I can't speak for all females, but for me, it's difficult sometimes when you're dealing with your own toxic relationships to have real friends and friends who aren't going to sugarcoat and say everything's going to be okay. Because no, that relationship that I was in, my friends knew that it was toxic. They saw things happening to me as a person that I didn't deserve. And for me, I wasn't ready to acknowledge that because I was enthralled in my own relationship. You know what I mean? And so instead of listening to what my friends were saying to me, I kind of held animosity to them because I was like, we have our own stuff going on. I don't need my friends to tell me that I'm wrong for being in this situation because I'm here and this is what it is. And so I do want to apologize to you guys for not being the best friend in that moment, because I think that I could have developed my rationale for why I was in the place I was in, and honestly listen to what you guys were saying to me instead of taking like it offensively. Because sometimes your friends, I honestly think when you're looking at a non-toxic friendship, a sisterhood, they're gonna have their opinions, and it's for your betterment. It's gonna be for, you know, it's because they don't want to see you get hurt. And I can honestly say that my friends have I'm gonna cry again. They have 1,001 times said to me, or they've led me in the right direction, and I just didn't want to hear it at the time. And instead of me leaving, I should have listened to you guys, because, you know, like, I know, because you guys know, like, I feel like if I would have listened to them, probably some of the situations that I dealt with and the ultimate situation that I dealt with probably wouldn't have happened, because I would have had the support of my sisters, and at the time, I didn't have that. So I am sorry that I've been toxic. Girl, I've never said it. Like, we are friends who have always been able to just put shit aside and say, like, you know what, our friendship is bigger than the drama. Yeah. But I think that in the spirit of being, and I've said the word 50,000 times, but in the spirit of being transparent with you guys, who we want to keep around, who we want to continue joining us in our group chat, it was important for me to be transparent with my group chat of my sisters, the aunties, and say that I really do want to apologize for any time that I have not been the best friend that I can be, the best sister that I can be. And I really appreciate you guys for always letting me back into the fold when I haven't been the best friend that
Girl,
I could.
You're never gonna miss an episode with us. We a weekly show. You're never gonna miss an episode.
No matter how many times you leave the group chat, you're always gonna.
You always get added back.
You guys are always gonna come back. So
always get added back in.
While I wipe my tears, I do want to thank you guys for joining us for our first. And that's probably why I'm.
Yeah, we got deep too.
Yeah.
We got some tears. We got laughter. We got anger. That's a regular. That's a regular. You're gonna see her cry often. You'll see me later. Summer's coming up. You know, I'll be outside on them little vroom mopeds. You know, so y'all about to see me lit. You know, I might even take a little bicycle home. You know. Red Riding Hood on this side. But
dead.
honestly, in all relationships, you want to keep it positive, keep it non-toxic. You know, before we wrap up, you know, we want to just shout out to everyone that gave us, you know, those questions, those stories.
Thank you.
We're definitely gonna ask for each topic, you know, a third opinion, well, a sixth opinion, on what we should talk about, what we should do, and you know, shout out to these lovely women, you know, because I don't want to say females and get canceled, but shout out to these lovely women, and you know, and I love y'all, and I really. I'm really happy that we finally are doing this, that we're finally, you know, deciding to put ourselves out there and, you know, keep it at 100.
Thank you for watching and tuning in.
Yeah, and make sure that you guys follow all of our social media accounts, especially at the group chat.nyc.
At the group chat.nyc.
You see that?
And all our Instas are in the bio.
Yes, you see, they got it on. Make sure that you guys follow us.
And you've been added.
You've been added to the group chat.
You guys are added. You're officially a sis or a bro.
But you're
or
not.
they, them.
You're not
Whatever you identify.
Whatever you identify by. But you're not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
So you got to stick with us.
There's no
and
left
continue the
group chat.
conversation.
Add it right back in.
Yeah, you can't exit the group chat. Please let us know what you want to hear from us. I feel like this topic was emotional. It was a little bit just to get you guys like kind of normal to us. I'm emotional. Kind of get you guys used to us and our friend dynamic. But the next one, we want it to be a little bit spicier. I want it to be something that we can really laugh and giggle about.
Tell us what you want to hear.
Please tell us what you want to hear. You can drop it below or you can send us a DM on Instagram and let us know. Follow all of our accounts like we said. And we will see you in the next group chat.
Bye, guys. Bow.